Hello everyone, my name is Zachary O'Shea, and this is Box of Teeth. Every October for the last few years, I have shared a homebrew monster for Dungeons & Dragons every day, and today is no different. So here is your October Monster a Day for October 16th, 2023. This week we continue expanding the Waning Court by going over fairy knights, specifically named ones, each from the different orders that serve the Waning Court. As a reminder, the Waning Court is a group of dark fae that I use for a homebrew D&D campaign. Very, very strong horror themes. In this case, it is folk horror, body horror, and cosmic horror that they represent. So, as a reminder as well, every one of the Fey Knights have a couple of similar abilities. They all start at a CR 10, though the ones this week are CR 11. They have Aura of Arrogance, so anytime they're missed with an attack, the attacker gains disadvantage on the rest of their attacks for that turn. They usually have Ephemeral Mien. Because they are otherworldly and alien, they can move through difficult terrain without any sort of difficulty, and Misty Step once per day. They have Magic Resistance as well as resistance at least to lightning, thunder, and attacks made with non-magical or non-silver weapons. They almost all carry a Throne Shard sword that is carved from their King Under Amber's throne. And they all have Prideful Stride, so once they reduce a creature to 0 hit points, they then can make a dash action without provoking opportunity attacks. Today we're going to talk about a member of the Order of the Revealing, Crackle, who serves the Lord of Invisible Blades, one of the Archfey Waning Princes. In this case, that would be Sir Skythistle. Sir Skythistle strives to be a noble in every sense of the word, despite toiling at the lowest rank within the court. He is well-spoken, educated, conniving, charming, vindictive, and has exquisite fashion sense, at least for a dark fae's sense of fashion. His leather armor has a dashing cut to it, and is layered here and there with blood amber studs that glint in the light. He wears an impressive helm made from a dragon skull riddled with direfly honeycombs. His cloak is of blue dragon scales taken from the same beast as the skull that he wears. Sir Skythistle is always quick to tell the tale of how he slew the beast, though anyone that has any knowledge of anything draconic knows it couldn't have been that old if the skull fits the fae's head. Sir Skythistle cuts those who point such a fact out down to side with either his blade, his insults, or both. As an accomplished writer, he keeps a stable of thunder chargers, which are terrible horse-like things from the Feywild that use lightning and thunder as one might expect. However, he will not lower himself to use a lance because he feels a true dragoon will only ever use a sword. So let's go ahead and take a look at Sir Skythistle's statistics for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. Now, he does have immunity to lightning because he does work for the Waning Prince of Lightning, the Lord of Invisible Blades. He has Aura of Arrogance, as noted before. He does have innate spellcasting like the rest of his order, where he can cast Blinding Smite, Lightning Lure, and Witch Bolt. Instead of Ephemeral Mien, he has Lightning Mien. So instead of using Misty Step, he just has Thunder Step instead. Pretty simple there. Magic Resistance. He does have his sword as well. He does have Storm of Scars, just like the rest of his order, so they can brand creatures within 20 feet of them who fail a save with these lightning-infused scars for the next minute. They always know where a scarred creature is, and their attacks deal an additional lightning damage against them, so it's a variation on Hunter's Mark. He does have Cutting Words as well, so whenever he scores a critical hit, he may add insult to that injury, and they have to make a charisma save or be stunned, which can be really devastating in combat. He's just that good with his insults. Now, the reason why I'm going over named knights this week is twofold. One, I always like kind of coming up with these unique personalities, and it really helps me flesh out how the Waning Court acts for people. But two, I hope that it helps fledgling storytellers, game masters, dungeon masters, whatever you want to use as your title, to come up with their own memorable antagonist, kind of going over how to take a base idea, hey, it's a dark fairy knight, how to give them a name and a personality, maybe a few unique abilities without making them into a legendary monster, so they have their own very strong sense of presence in your game. So each day is going to be a different Fey order with a different named Fey to kind of give you the gamut of ideas that you can use. Now you can find all the monsters I've made so far for this October previous Octobers, and hundreds of other horror-themed monsters for Dungeons & Dragons, all perfectly free, at boxofteeth.blogspot.com. If you're interested in the other horror role-playing game projects that I have, or the horror fiction that I write, which is where I mentioned Grease Paint, which is a killer clown story, it's a good read for the holiday season, you can always go to www.zacharyoshay.com. I certainly hope you have a great rest of the evening. Thank you for your time and your attention.